Want to find the best keywords for Google Ads? Of course you do. Here's the truth. Anyone can create a list of keywords and advertise on Google. I know there's videos showing you how to do keyword research, search volumes, bid estimates, but I guarantee you they will not transform ad performance. However, my life and my agency was changed overnight by one type of keyword: negative keywords. I became a millionaire because of negative keywords. I remember what it was like to struggle with ads that don't work. Negative keywords changed that for me. Back in 2010, no agency knew about negatives. I founded Click Convert, teaching negative keyword strategies and saving advertisers 60% on their spend within days. It was just crazy. These wonders of Google Ads changed expensive, non-converting campaigns into gold mines. But still today, 14 years later, many Google Ads experts, people with literally years of experience who should know better, have no understanding of how to use negative keywords. Today, I'm going to show you how to become a negative keyword superhero. I'll explain why and how negatives transform campaigns, the different types, and how to use them. Okay, I'm John Langley, founder of Click Convert Marketing with Jameson Hollister. We're Google, Bing, social media ad experts. We've generated over 1.5 billion of sales for our clients, and my goal is to shortcut your learning so you don't have to make the mistakes that cost thousands and kill campaigns. And this happens every day. Have you ever wondered how some advertisers hold the top positions? They're at the very top. Every time you increase your bids, you try and challenge them for the top spots, and it just ends up costing you a fortune. But how do they make it work? A quick look at your keyword search terms report. Yeah, the one you know that it shows you what people typed into Google before they clicked your ads. This report that will reveal that you're paying for low intent time wasters. For example, let's say you're advertising steel above ground pools, the ones with frames. A quick review of the search terms will show you searches including things like paddling pool, repair, used, repair. All the terms that if you're selling steel pools, you can't make money out of. These searches cost money and they add a huge cost to your advertising. Your conversion costs will be too high and there is no way for you to pay more to get a better page position. You cannot afford it. As much as 60% of your ad budgets could be wasted on these terms. Yet your competitor is not paying for any of these searches. They are paying for high intent, ready to buy searches only. Their conversion rates, I guarantee, will be higher than yours as their results are better. They can pay more per click because they're just getting clean traffic that buys. Negative keywords deliver clean, high intent traffic. The secret to Google isn't getting traffic like everybody thinks. It's about getting clean traffic that's ready to make a decision to buy from you. However, negative keywords just don't act in this simple way. They also avoid something called cross-competition. Just stop for a minute and consider that if you have a search or shopping campaign that features the same keywords or products in your ad account, you're in effect bidding against yourself. Google has declared that it isn't possible, but it's very careful the wording they use. The highest ad ranked keyword, including the combinations of factors such as maximum bid, CTR, landing page experience, all go through into the auction. Negative keywords allow you to control which one of these keywords wins your internal auction before you get out into the real auction. So let me explain the types of negative keywords. I'm going to give you some examples and we'll jump into real world searches and I'll show you two methods of adding negative keywords to your account. Negative keywords, they come in three types. They're broad, phrase, and exact. They sound similar to normal keywords, but they're not. Normal keywords are now close variants, so even exact keywords will show up for terms that are close related. So say you advertised on floor as an exact keyword, you'll show up for flooring, oak flooring, those types of terms. If you type in exact now on the positive side of things, it shows you a whole range of other related terms. And Google does this. It spreads your keywords out to attract more searches. The exact keyword steel pools, as I said, would trigger for steel pools or steel pools near me. But when it comes to turning off searches with negative keywords, there's no such flexibility. Google by default uses exact negative keywords. To effectively use negatives, we need to target at a very high level, but Google tries its absolute best to distract you from this. We need to take like a high level of umbrella approach that will cover as many of these search variations as possible. So let's start with the most common, exact negatives. This is Google's default type of match type, and it's the most restrictive. And really, it works in Google's favor, not yours. These appear in your negative keyword list surrounded by square brackets. I'll give you an example. Use 10-foot pool. Only some searches for use 10-foot pool will not be showing. If someone was to type in a plural such as use 10-foot pools, notice with the S, then your ad will still show. Starting to get the picture now? Exact negatives only turn off searches for the exact keywords and the order you put them in within the square brackets. Exact negatives should only be used occasionally. You should not use them by default. Our next keyword is phrase match, and your negative keyword will be surrounded by quotes or inverted commas. For example, used 10-foot pool. Phrase negative keywords turn off any search that contains your phrase in the order within the quotes. If the user search contains a negative phrase, but the words in an alternative order, they're switched round, the ad will still show. That's important. Only used when the order of the keywords is important. For example, we have a brand called Home Bargains in the UK. This is a brand name and we're not interested in it. But we cannot turn off the word home as a single keyword because people searching for home steel swimming pools would not be showing our ads. We may not wish to turn off the keyword bargain either, as again, people may search for bargain steel pools. In this case, we need both keywords and we need them in the correct order. So we need home bargain. Remember, it will not turn off home bargains plural. So it may be worth adding the plural variation and vice versa. Finally, we have broad negative keywords. These, and remember this, do not work like broad keywords with variations. Broad keywords only turn off the searches that feature all of the broad keywords, but in any order. For example, if we used home bargain as a broad negative, then the following searches would be turned off. Home steel pool bargain, bargain steel pools for the home. The two keywords home and bargain appear in different locations in the search and are separated, but they will still stop the ad showing for a search. Let's quickly look again at phrase negatives. A good one is near me. I see this a lot in campaigns, but again, it's the incorrect use of phrase negatives. We're always looking to turn off, if possible, a single common keyword. In this case, it's the word near. By adding near as the broad negative, it will act as this umbrella fashion and turn off a huge array of searches such as pools near me, pools near Santa Rosa, pools near Napa. Public in the space of pools is another example of a broad keyword that we may wish to turn off. We're not interested in anybody looking for public pools. Finally, if you look at negative keywords in your account and you find any with a plus symbol in front of them, it will be ignored. Many advertisers who don't understand negatives thought that putting the plus symbol in front of a keyword would make it act like the modified broad keyword and it would turn off a range of keywords, but it doesn't work that way. The plus will just be ignored, and it's usually a good indication in an account that the account manager doesn't know how to use negatives. While we're talking about that, you cannot use symbols in the negative keywords. So things like commas, exclamation marks, the at symbol, percentages, the up arrow, brackets, equals, squiggly brackets, greater than, less than, question marks, slashes and vertical bars, all of those can't be used as negative keywords. I'll quickly cover what level they can apply that. Before we jump into an account, that negatives can be applied at account, campaign, and ad group level. Individual negative keywords can be applied at ad group and campaign level. Negative keyword lists, these are amazing. They're reusable lists that can be applied only at campaign level, but they can be applied across multiple campaigns, making them effectively account level. Negative keyword lists, and I can't put enough emphasis on this, are a must. They allow you to be able to reuse negative keywords. They save you huge amounts of time and they avoid huge duplication of negatives in an account. I think you can add around 5,000 negatives per list and you can have 20 of these lists. So what's that? Okay, you can have 100,000 negatives in lists in the account. For example, if you were a supplier of Ford auto parts, searches for other brands such as Toyota across the campaigns would be problematic, costing you whole loads of money. Maintaining an individual account level negative keyword list deals with this huge level of duplication. A great solution would be to create a negative keyword list of car brands that you don't sell. These can be applied across all the campaigns that are applicable, and you can repeat this maybe for car model years as well. You know, everything from 1911 to 2021 or something, if you don't supply those. I've done it lots of times. There's another use as well for negative keywords, and that's directing traffic with the individual negative keywords. So these negatives, they can be applied directly to campaigns and ad groups. So in the last video, we were using pizza ovens as an example. So you may have a campaign for wood pizzas and the gas pizza oven campaign. You would want to add, say, wood, wooden, oak, etc. to the gas campaign so that any traffic that came into there over to the wood oven campaign, and vice versa, using bottled gas, LPG as negatives to the wood campaign. So what you can see is you can direct traffic amongst the campaigns to make sure you show them the right ads to the right people. Okay. I'm going to show you two methods of negative keywords. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet method, and I'm going to show you the normal method of just going through and developing the negatives. I'd recommend you do this about every 2 weeks. The spreadsheet method is ideal for using on an existing campaign with large volumes of search terms on which you may not have run negatives for a long time, so you need to do a big clear up. The spreadsheet method is ideal for this. The normal method I recommend for just doing for new campaigns and just for the ongoing every 2 weeks maintenance. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's jump in straight into an account and start looking. Okay, for this demo, we're going to be looking at a steel frame swimming pool, the ones with metal frames and the plastic liners. So that is going to be our product we're going to look at. And we're going to go through and we're going to set a date range, set a few months because we're doing this on a large set of negative keywords. And then we want to click download. And there's an option here for Google Sheets. It's the easiest option to do. So I'd do that. Pop a name in, just click download, and off we go. You'll probably have to log into your Google account. But what we need to do is remove these top two lines, just delete those off. We'll whiz down the bottom, delete the bottom lines. Brilliant. And then we're going to whiz back to the top again and we're going to sort. This time we're going to do custom sort. And we're going to, the titles, we've got headlines in there at the top. So there's our titles. We're going to click that. And we're going to sort by clicks. Have a look. Bring them all to the top. So we want our highest volumes of keywords first of all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a new column in to the right. Expand that across a bit. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to mark any keywords that we don't like the look of with an X. And then we're going to resort these at the end. So that's our approach. So we're going to go down through these and we're going to have a look at them. Let's have a look. We've got some keywords. So any keyword we don't like the look of, we're going to put an X against. That's brilliant. Keep going down. I just need to zoom in a bit. So we're just marking these. So we're selling Intex and Best Way pools. They're the brand we're interested in. So anything that's too generic, such as Best Way pool, Intex pool, it's too generic for our needs. What we need is really people to put steel frame pool, above ground, best way pool, those types of terms. So deep's a bit of a funny one as well, because there are some very deep pools, so these only really go to about 4 foot and 36 inches. I think some are 39. So we're going down here, and you just start now marking anything you don't like the look of. If you can't make money off the search term, put an X against it. So we're going down here. Let's have a look. We've gone all the way down, and we put a whole lot of X's. So you need to whiz back to the top and highlight the whole sheet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do advanced search. We're going to click data as a heading row, and then we're going to do it by column B, and we're going to do Z to A, and that'll bring all the X's flooding to the top. Absolutely great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start looking down here, and we're going to put the right match type on here. So above ground pools, unfortunately, above ground's a good term. So what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to have to put this as an exact negative with the square brackets around it. So we're going to do that. That's great. I've just increased the zoom there. That's great. In-text pool. Okay, it's too generic. It could be anything. In-text, they supply everything from hot tubs to paddling pools. So we need it to be a little bit more on it. What I didn't do here is what we should have done is we should have also brought in the column for conversions, and therefore you wouldn't have marked any keyword with conversions on it. So when you download it yourself, just make sure you've selected the conversions column. Going down here, big swimming pool, best way swimming pool, and these are mainly exacts at this point here. I've gone through these. Now, for sale is an interesting one. I don't really like the term for sale because I don't think it really works out very well. So what we've done there is we put that in a phrase. We're going down again. Paddling is another example. We've left that on a broad. So paddling, if paddling turns up anywhere, then our ads won't show. So we're going down here. Splash and Relax is the brand we've got, so we don't want anything to do with that. We'll get that through organic. We're going down here. 8-foot pools. We don't do 8-foot pools. They're mainly from 10, 12, and 14, occasionally 16. We don't want kids pools because they are for kids, but people don't actually convert on those terms. You'll know about it in your own industry as well. We're going down here. Have another quick look around. Going down, have a quick look. Now we've got deep swimming pools and garden again. We've got that in there. Big pools, indoor. So what we've done with indoor is I've actually changed. It used to be outdoor, but I've actually wiped that over and put the word indoor on there because I didn't want anybody searching for an indoor pool. We've got the 8-foot in there. We've got kids. We've got inflatable. These aren't inflatable. That's a different type of pool, so we don't want those. That stays on a broad with nothing around it at all. So if inflatable turns up in their search at all, it's just going to totally turn it off. Now, interesting, we've got a few keywords here we need to talk about. There was one that said stock tank. We don't want anything to do with stock tank. So what I've done is I had an empty space above. So I've put the word stock in there. So that will turn anything to do with stock. Anything to do with tanks, so tanks. I'd probably put tanks plural and tanking in there if I was doing this for real. So we don't want anything to do with that. Then we've got swimming pool and exact again. Hot tub, another big area you don't want anything to do. Then we put the term on a phrase match hot tub. It's separated by a space. If I was doing this for real as well, I'd probably add a new line in here and I'd put hot tub as one word as well. So I do both variations on it. So we'll keep going down, see how we're getting on. Now, we don't do anything to do with 20-foot pools. That's too big, so we've deleted everything else and just left the one keyword on that umbrella approach that we don't like, which is 20-foot. The other one we're a bit suspicious of is the word cheap. So what I've done here, I've just nipped back over to the AdWords account, and I'm just going to have a quick look and do a search I'll put the column in there for conversions, and I'm going to do a quick search and see if I can find out how many times the word cheap turns up. So I'm adding a filter. We're going to put in cheap. I'm not going to put in actually search terms now. I'm going to whiz down the list, and we are going to go to search term, and it contains the word cheap. So actually, did we sell any pools featuring the word cheap? And let's have a look. I'll go across. And no, we didn't. So we didn't sell anything. Cheap did not feature as a converting keyword at all. So we're now going to go back and we'll return to the spreadsheet and we're going to add cheap in here. So we've added cheap in. Now, when you go back up your entire list and highlight the entire column. Don't get the word search term in. We're not interested in that. Copy that and then return back over to our Google Ads account. And we're looking for the negative keywords option on the left. Click the plus button and we're going to click in and we're going to choose campaign, because this you could choose ad group as well. And we're going to put in all our negative keywords we've selected. And once we've done that, we can make selections at the bottom as well as to if we'd like to choose to add these to a shared negative list or not, but we're not really interested in that at this point. So we could save it to an existing list. We just put it onto this one campaign and we put all those keywords in there. And we've now gone through and we've cleaned our entire account. This is the second approach. We are going to do it in the actual account. So we're going to go over, navigate down to your campaign or ad group. And then we want to go over on the left-hand side to keywords. And underneath keywords, you're going to find a little link there saying search terms. So we click on search terms, choose your date range. Probably going to need a month or so of data. It all depends on the search volumes in your account. Select your date range. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up and down the campaign, very similar to before, and we're going to put a tick against anything we don't like the look of. So we're going to do this. We're going to go here, scan the keywords, got the date range, everything's looking good. We've got conversions in there. We're going to put the filter in. So we're going to say, let's have a look. We're going to look down for conversions, find conversions, and we're going to say we want every search term that has not had a conversion. Brilliant. So we've got that. So we've got those. So we're going to go down, best way pool, garden swimming pool, above ground pools, all the generic terms. We're going to start getting rid of deep, 12 foot, and then 12 foot's okay. Big pools, too generic. Swimming pools for sale. I don't like for sale. In-text swimming pool, again, too generic. Best way, 12-foot pool, that's good. Swimming pool for garden, a bit too generic. Deep swimming pools for garden. It can get a bit tricky in this market. They can be confused with in-ground pools. So we're going down the list and you're just going to tick anything you don't like the look of. The only thing you're not going to do is if you see a term such as 8 foot, you're not going to click the second version of 8 foot. You're only going to choose one instance of it, unless it's actually an exact. So we'll go down, let's have a look, it's looking good. Now we've got a list of our keywords. We've gone, I'm not going to look at them, and they've all got square brackets around. So we're going to change to start with. We're going to put it at the campaign level. We're looking at these. These are all exacts, that's okay. So we've got, and then looking at this, I don't really like above ground. So we're just going to put above ground in there and put that in a phrase. Okay, deep, I don't like that word either, so we're just going to take everything from around it, just leave the word deep in there. That is now a broad negative that will work on that umbrella alert. So any search of features deep, we're turning off. For sale, I don't like that, so we'll put that as a phrase with the quotations around it. We've got garden, let's keep going down in text. Most of these are okay for exact. Deep, we've already got. Have we got deep? I'm not too sure. Yeah, you can do it twice if you want to. 8 foot. Yeah, put deep in too many times. I'm going to put 8 foot with a space in instead and lock that as a phrase. And we've got kids, we don't want that. So we're going to put that as a broad negative. Great, we're going to just double check them. Whiz up and down, we're going to do save, and these are saved, and that's it. We've done our negatives. I do this about every 2 weeks on your campaign. Just go through, add the negative keywords, and then we're all sorted. That's it. What I will do is at a later date, I'll cover how you use negative keywords as positive keywords within shopping campaigns. It's a really advanced technique, but I'll cover that off. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.